Welcome back, guys, to another episode of HAXEN HUNT. Today's video, we are going to do a deep dive into the Mathews Phase 4. Right here, I've got the 29 and the 33 inch. If you want to know if you should get the Phase 4, whether it's the 29 or the 33, we are going to dive deep into every detail, spec, and how they feel shooting in the hand. And I'm going to let you guys know the pros and cons of these bows. So if you want to see if it's something that you should go and buy for yourself and add to the fleet, go ahead and stay tuned. All right, so for the 29-inch axle Phase 4, you're looking at a 6-inch brace height. You're also looking at the IBO speed of 340, which it comes nowhere close to that, just a heads up. But we're gonna shoot a bunch of different arrows at different weights and see what speeds we are getting out of this thing. You have the option to go 60 pounds up to 75 pounds by changing out the mods and going 5-pound increments that you can then tune with the limb bolt system there. The bow itself weighs 4.48 pounds, so it is fairly light for an aluminum bow. Draw length options are 25.5 to 30-inch draw lengths, and that is from the mod system that you are going to be changing out mod for every draw length. Options on that as well are 80 to 85% let off, and this bow, bare bow, comes in at around $1,300. And that does not include sight, rest, or anything. So it's just the bare bow, not ready to shoot at 1,300 bucks. All right, now for the 33-inch axle bow. So you've got a much longer axle, a little bit more forgiving for those longer draw lengths. You're looking at a 6.5-inch brace height, so half an inch bigger brace height. 60 to 75 pound increments for your draw weight, so same there. IBO speed is 336. We're gonna shoot a bunch of different weighted arrows, like I mentioned, through this bow as well to see what speeds it really is getting. The bow itself weighs 4.68 pounds. For draw lengths, you're looking at 27 to 31.5-inch draw lengths. This one is coming in at $1,400, so you're $100 more for that couple inches longer axle. All right, guys, I just want to let you know really quick that I do have a giveaway going on. It is purchase one flag on my website. There's only 300 entries, so each flag is an entry to win. You can purchase as many as you want. They are on sale right now for 39 bucks, but that is gonna get you entered in to win 2 bows of your choice. It can be any bow of your choice, one for you and one to give away to a buddy or first responder veteran in your life. And then as well as I'm gonna donate $5,000 to Wishes for Warriors. So if you wanna help donate to a good cause, get our veterans out to have the opportunity to get out hunting out in the outdoors, then go ahead and get in on this giveaway and let's help get some veterans out in the woods. So go to haxenhunt.com, purchase a flag, and that will get you an entry automatically. All right, so first up, so we've got the 33 right here in hand. We are gonna go over the cons of the Mathews. So things that I've noticed throughout the years that they have the tradition of being bad at. So I'm just gonna go over that right off the bat. So first things first, zebra strings tend to stretch, tend to break, tend to fray, they're just terrible. So right off the bat, you're gonna be looking at getting a new set of cables and strings, and that's gonna run you roughly about 150 bucks for a decent set for some aftermarket strings. That's a con right off the bat. You're gonna pull these off. If you wanna consistently shoot good, I would recommend getting rid of these zebra strings. The grip, for me, some people it works. The grip is just absolute trash. It hits my fat knuckle or something right there, which then causes it to torque pretty consistently. It's got a rounded beveled edge here, so it kind of just rolls off your hand and it doesn't settle and stay consistently flat or in a consistent spot there in the palm of your hand. The other thing is, if you want to change your draw weight and draw length, you're going to be swapping out mods. So say you shoot 27 inches, but you want to change to 27 and a half, or say you're shooting 29, you want to change to 30. That's going to cost you $60 for every time you change your mods. And so there's not any adjustability at all whatsoever with the Mathews. So for me, that's kind of a downside, because I like to play with at least a 1/2 inch increment at my draw length to figure out how that bow shoots best in my hand. And it's not always very convenient to buy a whole new set of mods for 60 bucks. Another downside is if you are wanting to go in with their integrated stuff, here's their bridge locked stabilizer. Don't get me wrong, it looks really cool. It's a great idea, slides right into the riser, integrates right into the center of that riser. It's really lightweight as far as the build of it, and then you just use a screw to tighten that in to hold it there. That being said, this is an 8-inch stabilizer. This is going for $250. So if you're wanting a $1,400 bow, you're already in at $250 more just for a stabilizer. And then if you're wanting a V-bar for a back bar, that is another $200. So right there, you're in 450 bucks for one stabilizer and the V-bar. But if you have the V-bar, you're gonna want a second stabilizer. So now you're looking at $750 just for 2 stabilizers and the V-bar if you go with the Mathews setup. Obviously, you don't have to go with the Mathews setup. That is just a downside. They charge out of this world for these things. Another product that they have is the Low Pro quiver. It's a pretty sweet quiver, and quivers are typically a little bit more money. You're looking at $240 for this quiver. This is the detachable Low Pro quiver, so it is pretty low profile on that bow, which is really, really nice. But having it at 240 bucks, I mean, that's adding on to that 750 with your stabilizers, which now you're looking at a total of over $1,000 for a quiver and your stabilizers. And so now you're in at 2,400 bucks bow, quiver, and stabilizers. That doesn't include your sight, which for a good sight, typically you're gonna be running at least $400 to $600, so we'll say 500 bucks. So you are in it quite a bit. There's the Ultra Integrate Rest that goes on it as well. That's gonna run another 290 bucks. You're looking at roughly like $2,700, and that's still not your sight. So you're looking at like 3,200 bucks fully set up with anything Mathews related. You don't have to do that, I understand. You know, some people like to match, so that's a downside. I think if you wanna match, it's going to cost you. So if money's not an issue, it's a pretty sweet setup. It looks cool. And immediately to be able to shoot consistent, like I said, you're gonna wanna pull that string off, pull that grip off. I don't think I mentioned the grip. To buy a new grip's like 75 bucks. So right off the bat, you're looking at least $250 for new strings and grip. So that's kind of the downside, to be able to shoot immediately as soon as you buy it, put it together and shoot consistent. Okay, so now that I have totally offended 99.9% of you guys that shoot Mathews, I get it. It's still a good bow, don't get me wrong. So we'll go over the pros of this bow. First thing that I notice when I shoot this thing is how dead in the hand it is. Mathews is always pretty dead in the hand, no hand vibration, very little noise. It's a very quiet shooting, dead in the hand bow. The other nice thing is they do have those integrated products. Yes, they charge out the freaking woohoo for those things, but it is an option, which I think is really nice to have. I just wish that the prices were a little bit lower. Being that they have them, I say that is a pro. Another cool thing about the Mathews is, I mean, Levi Morgan shoots it, so they pay him enough money to shoot him. So if you want to be on his team, shoot a Mathews. Let's go over the draw cycle and everything of this bow and go over how the true feeling is in your hand. All right, so again, I still have the Phase 4 33 in hand. Let's go over that draw cycle, see if I can make so you guys can see the whole bow. This one is set up at 29 inches, 70 pounds. Consistent pull throughout that whole draw cycle. Has a little jump forward. I'll come off that back wall. So like if you give it any bit of leeway, it's gonna try to take that. Let's shoot this thing and show you how dead in the hand it really is. So no vibration, no jump forward. Honestly, just feels very good in the hand other than the grip. I would immediately pull this grip off. Back wall has a little sponge to it. Yeah, dead in the hand, no vibration. The shot process of the Mathews is enjoyable. I feel like they do a really good job with having that settle pretty well. But let's shoot that 29 real quick. All right, so there's the 29, much smaller axle to axle bow. This one's gonna be pretty useful in tree stands, blinds and stuff. A little shorter shots, shorter axle to axle. Right now it's set up at 28. This one's set up at 28 inches, but once you surpass that 28, I feel like it's too small and your string angle's a little bit too tight. But at 28 inches, I feel like it's pretty comfortable. Super dead in the hand, very consistent feeling, other than the grip. And again, I'll never stop mentioning that. The draw cycle's I feel like it's a little bit smoother on this one. And this is at 70 pounds, 28 inches. Back wall solid. Yeah, feels good shooting. Again, immediately I'd rip off that grip and pull off these strings. That's just me, my opinion, and what I think about this bow. Okay, so now we're gonna take both these bows, we're gonna shoot them through the chronograph. I have a 440, 480, 500, and 520 grain arrow that we're gonna shoot all 4 of those through the chronograph and see what speeds we're getting with these 2 bows. All right, so first up, we're gonna do the 29-inch phase 4. This is the 440 grain arrow. We are at 269. Now for 80 grain arrow, 256, 500 grain arrow, 251, 520 grain arrow, 248. So you're anywhere from 270 to 248 with those. We're gonna shoot the 33, see what speeds that is getting. Okay, so 33-inch. Phase 4, first step is going to be that 440 grain arrow. And again, this is at 29-inch draw, 70 pound. We're at 291, so quite a bit faster, gaining with that extra inch in the draw. 480 grain, 276, 500 grain, 270, 520, 266. So you're anywhere from 290 to 266 with the Phase 433 at 29 inches, 70 pounds. All right, so pretty decent speeds coming out of both the 29 and 33. They're good bows. There's a lot of pros, there's a lot of cons. And so it's really gonna be down to what you decide and what you feel feels good in your hand. The grip might not be a problem to you, so I would encourage you to get to your nearest shop. Big thanks to Humphreys Archery here in American Fork, Utah for letting me come in and try to get this information out to you guys for those that might not be able to shoot these bows. Again, they are good bows, but I would recommend shooting them in your hand to see how it feels. That being said, really appreciate your guys' support. I just hit 10,000 subscribers, so I'm very, very appreciative to all of you guys for showing that support. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. Here's a couple other videos for you guys, and we'll see you guys next time.